have some wonderful artists here tonight, and I want to introduce them. And when I introduce them, I would like for them to tell you what inspired them to do the things that they're doing, and why are they doing it. And we'll go from there, okay? We're going to firstly start with our octavus.
Oh, yeah.
Not only is she the queen, but she's an artist, she's a publisher, and she's just many, many things, and I'm glad to be around her. So we're going to start with Queen Quet.
Good evening one more again.
Good evening.
So for all 100 children with out in that door, y'all can come in here because y'all are blocked we here anyway. Come on in, come on in. Come across the door trestle at least. Bring some energy in y'all. Okay. Now, thank you, ma'am. All right, there we go. That's what we're talking about. Clearly, where some more children can come in. All right. So, I'm so glad for day y'all in Charleston one more again. Plenty of people that take y'all on TV from my home island to tell Island anyway. Everybody that's saying, to live in Charleston, I say, might as well see us so. Burn up so much of time on the road being up here. But you know one thing, this is my mother right here. And so one thing it learned me, say charity begin at home.
That's right.
So when we first started for writing things like that, my first book I write with my brother Ron, and that is second one we did called Thinking About Family. And so when we do Thinking About Family, we do them in Geechee. So plenty of 100 children can recognize 100, or somebody would be in your family you go on school with in there for sure. Okay? But when people say, well, great God, you do poetry book and all that other thing, but you done learned me so much, but we history, we're the history book. I said, well, I ain't write the book yet. Well, you need to hurry up and write it. Okay, so the first history book, the St. Helena Serenity, because my home island is St. Helena Island down in Beaufort County. And so this your book been the first one out of this series of books you see upon the table. And God tell me to write 30 books, 30, for those who don't speak Gullah. 30 books, okay? But learn people about who we are as Gullah Geechee. So we story, they in ya. And then in this your one, this is the collector's edition, because my CD they in there too. So I'm going to crack my teeth, I'll sing, I'm going to crack my teeth with some of we story and things like that, but it'll bridge them to our story, okay, into his story, because you know when him been write them, we ain't been there in there. But we story. And so you had the CDs were there and the book and thing. And then we got some other rest of item and thing with the t-shirt and thing, so you can have thing for lay upon your back or say Gullah Geechee too, you know. Like that church say, represent. Anyway, all right. So it's so glad it was go all around the world and have one chance to represent all of you people and things like that. And so glad when we're back home, yeah, and have people who appreciate them. Because so many times you can go in other rest of places across the world and thousands of people show up because they say, oh, the Queen did it. And be right there and tell y'all show up. Because y'all said, oh, we see Queen on TV last week, but they didn't see me in person. Okay, so it's so glad they say, all of y'all say, we need to come and see y'all this evening in person. And you know one thing, I want y'all to give Elder Carly Town a round of applause, because it's pretty humble for all the work to do. But plenty of time, y'all didn't see she, but she be right there sometime. Y'all see me put on the TV, she there right there on the side to make sure everything is going smooth over there while I up front. So this evening we wouldn't have been to do this here without she. And I know it did somewhere probably hiding in the wall upstairs or somewhere. Brother Chuma, let me give him a round of applause. Every brother who y'all see sneak that chair and y'all going out the door and going back upstairs. Alright, so we want to thank the family, but I could be right here and you can come up later on and get the thing signed and things like that. I might charge you a little extra for a signature. No, I just
Thank you very much, Queen. Now we have Katrina McLean. She's our basketball star. And when I spoke to Katrina, I told her, I said, oh, I know your family, but I had never met you or your sister. But I had been talking to your sister because I wanted her to do something for me, but I never met her either. So I'm glad that you brought the whole family tonight. So Katrina, please stand up and tell them a little bit about yourself and about why you wrote your book, but especially let them know who you really are.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
All right.
My name is Katrina McLean. Most people, or some people know me as playing in the Olympics. I played in 3 Olympics, 1988, 92, and 96. I've been blessed to have traveled all over the world. And I mean, I played in numerous world championship games, and as you can see, I've had my jersey retired at the University of Georgia. So I've done a lot of things, but along the way, one of the things I realized is that God was preparing me for this now. And when I mean this now, as far as writing my book, is really dealing with the youth. And that's my soul. And understand I was so busy traveling around the world doing the thing that God has given me because of that. But that was great and it was all good, but it was preparing me for what is now, which is a war, and which is what we're fighting out there because our children, we're losing our children. And one of the things that to write period, because I have 3 high in Genesis. They're 11, 9, and 7, and they really inspired me because as I was reading Bible stories to them, and I know that kids are very curious. So in being so curious, I said, whoa, maybe if I write stories from the Bible, and I could really teach history in the Bible, because there's so much history that we really don't understand if we really not knowledgeable about the Bible, to really educate and motivate and inspire our children. So that's why I'm here. I'm here and I'm writing now, and I would love for all the kids to have it and read it. And like I said, you will be amazed at the fact that of what we don't know, what our kids don't know. And I have questions in my book as well, and that's to really encourage family togetherness. And that's one of the things I think that we need to strengthen is our family ties. And so I'm very excited about doing that, and I'm very excited about writing more books. So thank you for your support, and thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katrina. Okay, Tiffany Joy Richardson, which is my niece.
Oh, blessings, everyone. My name is Tiffany Joy Richardson, and I'm with JPC, which is the Joy Kings Collective. It's a kind of come along the way things that I like to do that kind of came naturally. Today I'm representing some of the jewelry that I made, and I have various things that I do. But I also I do writing as well and music. But today I'm focusing on the jewelry. So, check it out.
Okay, thank you. And now we have the man in the group, Mr. Jamie Fordo.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting me out here this evening. And as for what I do a number of things. You probably heard me already doing Old Freedom. I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. As a matter of fact, I plan on playing that very song this evening later on if you ask me to do that.
Yeah.
But for right now, though, I'd like to talk about what else I brought here, which are my 2 books, True Stories of Black South Carolina and Voices of Black South Carolina. And essentially, Katrina was just a little while ago talking about the need of passing on history. And I was blessed enough to have a father who loved to tell stories about history. And so I grew up with that love in me, and then I grew on to become a researcher to find out more of the actual facts about these things. And a lot of these things that I found out, I put into these particular books. A lot of amazing things, such as the individual on this cover is a man named George Washington Murray. And a lot of times people ask about, well, what did black people invent? Well, it turned out that in the 1890s, he was one of the last Reconstruction congressman from South Carolina, and while he was in the Congress in Washington, D.C., he read for the Congressional Record a list of all the African Americans who up to 1893 had invented something. So I found the records of that in Citadel and put it in this book, along with numerous other stories, such as, of course, the famous story about Robert Smalls and the ship The Planner, which they're going to commemorate next year. But what a lot of people don't know is that this man is single-handedly responsible for the establishment of the public school system in South Carolina. And I could go on about that, but there are a number of things that will interest and inspire yourselves and your children in these 2 books. So if you'd like to get them, come and see me afterwards, or if you have some more questions, feel free to ask. But I know there's some other people there, and I don't want to take up too much of their time. Thank you, and have a blessed evening.
Thank you.